Alright, the portfolio. We started out on January 28th of 2011 here with $10,000, and we're going to $1 million or bust with this portfolio, whichever comes first. And this week, our holdings, we started with Gulfport Energy, $37.04 starting out the week. And we had Tempur Pedic, $51.67. El Paso Pipeline, $36.45. And Continental Resources, surviving the portfolio last week. Original stock in the portfolio, $71.95. Endo Pharmaceuticals was the new addition to the portfolio, $38.86. We'll see how we did with that stock. One of these stocks is going to get sold, and a new stock is going to enter this portfolio. We're going to sell the worst performing stock in this portfolio. And I'll tell you this, our number one holding this week did real good. Coming in, number one this week, it's Tempur Pedic. And this stock has been pretty quiet in the portfolio for a few weeks, but it erupted on Friday when it had better than expected earnings, opening the week at $51.67 and closing at $57.17. We had a $253 gain in this portfolio from this stock. Let's take a look at the chart. And down below, point 1 shows that the stochastics are falling a bit here from overbought territory here. There's no signs of strength here, so we gave it a red mark. Point 2 shows the MACDs, they're still jumping in histogram bars. They're surging. We gave this one a green mark. Up top, point 3 shows relative strength index. That's still soaring, so we gave that a green mark. Overall, things look like they're maybe cooling off on the stochastics, but the rest of the chart's looking pretty strong here. And coming in, number 2 this week, it's Endo Pharmaceutical. It's the new addition to the portfolio, opening the week at $38.86 and closing at $40.85. Pretty good performer, earning us $103.48 in the portfolio. Let's take a look at this chart. And down below, point 1 shows stochastics are overbought, but they're continuing to rise, so we gave that one a yellow mark. Point 2 shows the MACDs are rising, but the histogram bars drop, so we gave that one a yellow mark. Just show a little caution here. Point 3 up on top, relative strength index is lifting higher, so we gave that a green mark. Overall, things still look pretty strong for Endo Pharmaceuticals, but we've seen this before, and we know it's just a matter of time before there's some profit taken in this kind of a move. And coming in, number 3 this week, it's El Paso Pipeline. And I think El Paso Pipeline comes in number 3 every week. It started the week here at $35.19 and closed at $35.99. Total value added to the portfolio, $44. Just continues to creep up a little higher each week and survive the portfolio. Let's look at the chart. And down below, point 1 shows stochastics are overbought and they're beginning to turn a bit, so we gave this one a yellow mark. And above that, point 2 shows the MACDs, they're slipping, and histogram bars fell, so we gave that a yellow mark. Up top, the relative strength index, it continues to climb, but it's flattening a little bit, but we did give it a green mark. Overall, El Paso Pipeline just continues to linger on in this portfolio, and I suspect it'll continue to do so. And so that only leaves room for one more stock in this portfolio. And the first stock up, it's the original stock in the portfolio, Continental Resources. Continental Resources found themselves here last week, battled for the 4th spot, survived the portfolio, and finds themselves here again. The second stock up is Gulfport Energy, same sector. Coming in, number 4. And remaining in the portfolio, it's Continental Resources. And we started out the week at $71.95 and closed the week at $70.87. Took away $34.56 from the portfolio this week. We're not crazy about that, but that was good enough to survive the portfolio. Let's take a look at the chart. And the chart of Continental Resources looks a little weak. Point 1 shows stochastics are negative and falling. Gave it a red mark. Point 2 shows MACD is a bearish and the histogram bar is a negative. Also gave that a red mark. Got a sell signal when the black line crossed over the red there on the MACDs. Not good. Up top, point 3 shows the relative strength index is still neutral, so we gave that a yellow mark. Overall, I think that Continental Resources may find themselves here again next week. And so Gulfport Energy is out of here. And opening the week at $37.04, we closed the week at $34.63. Total loss of $166.29 in the portfolio. Let's take a look at the chart. And things don't look too good for Gulfport Energy. Point 1 down below shows stochastics are falling, gave them a red mark. Point 2 above that shows the MACDs, they're indicating sells. The black line has crossed over the red. And the histogram bars, they're dropping too. We don't like that. Gave it a red mark. Up top, relative strength index is negative. It's falling. Gave it a red mark. Not good for Gulfport Energy. And so summing things up for the IBD holdings this week, we had a winner, Tempur Pedic. $253 added to the portfolio. Nice performer on Friday. Second place was Endo Pharmaceuticals, coming in with a $103.48 gain. Paso Pipeline, perennial third placer, $44 gain there. Continental Resources surviving the portfolio second week in a row, $34.56 gain there. Can't have that again. Gulfport Energy is out of here, $166 loss. We don't like that. Got cash in a portfolio of $115.15. Total value is $11,545.53 in the portfolio. Started out with $10,000 January 28th. It's looking pretty good so far. But that means there's going to be a new stock added to the portfolio now. And that new stock this week is Spectrum Communications, symbol SPRD. Closing the week at $20.35. Got a market cap of $976 million. Average daily volume about 1.35 million. This is a Chinese communication company. Shows you how tough things are when you have to dig so deep in the IBD 50 and the only stock you can find is a Chinese company. Let's take a look at the chart. And the chart here looks pretty good. Point 1 down below shows stochastics are bullish. Black line crossed over the green and we're headed higher. Gave it a green mark. Point 2 above that shows the MACDs are positive and the histogram bars are rising. Gave them a green mark. And up top, point 3 shows the relative strength index is climbing too, so we gave that a green mark. Things look pretty good for Spectrum Communications. And going into this week, we're holding Tempur Pedic, 46 shares, total value $2,629.82. We've got Endo Pharmaceuticals, starting the week at $40.85, total value there $2,124.20. Paso Pipeline, starting the week at $36.71, $2,019.05 there. Continental Resources surviving the portfolio and starting the week at $70.87. Total value there of $2,267.84. And a new addition to the portfolio, Spectrum Communications. Picked up 117 shares of that stock at $20.35. Got a total value of $2,380.95. Cash in the portfolio now consists of $123.67. Total value $11,545.53. Overall, it was real tough to find a stock out of the IBD holdings this week. I went through 50 stocks and found 2. One looked good, Spectrum Communications, and the other looked just okay. Didn't look good out there, so I went ahead and looked at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, analyzed all 30 of those stocks too, and they looked like they were a little toppy and headed down too. A couple of them looked all right. It didn't look like we're getting into a crash or anything, but looks like we're maybe getting ready to turn here in the market and stocks may be heading lower here as it's getting more difficult to find things. And to be honest with you, I was going to go with just cash and hold that as a 5th spot portfolio for this holding for this week, and Spectrum just looked too good, and we'll just have to see for this week. And you know, these stocks have got to perform or else they're at it.